I know what you're thinking, and yes, it's been a while since I made a video, and that's due to a large number of factors which I'll briefly explain. Day 1 of Crime Fest was a shitstorm, as you all know, black market. On that very same day, I actually got a job in the industry I want to get into. So if you didn't know, my profession is video editing and motion graphics. You might have been able to tell that. But since I've been working so often, I've had very little time to play, and especially since the release of Fallout 4, I've been playing that whenever I've not been working. So, update 91, Point Break Heists DLC, which is $6.99, and the Bodhi Character Pack, which is free thanks to the Black Market update. Aside from Overkill being Overkill, the Point Break Heists are a set of 2 heists, based on a contact called Locke, who is supposed to be South African, but from what I can hear of him, he sounds more Maori. Originally, when I heard about the heist, I thought, Point Break, isn't that the old heisty movie? That's cool. Then I learnt that it's actually getting remade for 2015, and that it was a cross-promotion for the film, and I was like, of course it would be that, as I'm not surprised anymore. So, Point Break comes with 2 heists, Birth at Sky and Beneath the Mountain. And my first experience of the maps are that they are fairly solid. With every new map, Overkill really like to push the game engine to its limits. So I was worried when I heard that Birth of Sky would be starting off in a plane and then jumping out into the map. I figured the game would be dropping frames left, right, and center. However, that is not the case. It does fairly well. When you get into the town, you will notice a few reused assets, such as the car shop and the gas station from Hotline Miami Day 1. But, I can forgive that because there's honestly no point reinventing the wheel, so to speak. The objectives are fairly straightforward as well. Secure the 3 pallets you ejected out of the cargo plane, and once you've done that, you escape through the sewers. And of course, the escape has a driving aspect, so to speak, because that's the flavor of the month. Overall, it's a nice map and really enjoyable, except when you're watching dozer after dozer spawn and just watching them jump over the wall. The spawning on this map is something fierce, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Next, we have Beneath the Mountain, which I believe takes place before Birth of Sky, due to some of the dialogue Locke mentions. So we force ourselves inside of Black Ridge, which is pretty much the heart of Murky Water operations. This heist is designed around the push-forward type. So similar to Heat Street from Payday the Heist and Hoxton Breakout Day 1, I'm actually a really big fan of this style of heist, and Beneath the Mountain is no exception. It does a fantastic job. Start off fast, like first 2 minutes of breaching the complex and then going into the first section of it, and then you're only spending a couple of minutes in each section until you get to the main section where you have to camp while you open the vaults, and then you get to the next section, the escape section, so to speak, where you have to do all the objectives to escape. So, talking about the game engine limitations, Beneath the Mountain does some tricky things to cope with it. Going into the main operations section, all the players have to enter an airlock. This is most likely because they are despawning enemies from the first part of the map and spawning them in the second part of the map. It's a very clever way to cope with the limitations of the engine, however it does sort of feel strange because it changes the pacing of the heist, especially the second time that they do this trick, where you go up the elevator shaft to meet Locke in person. It's literally having a cutscene in the middle of the heist. It kind of feels a little strange. A few things I have started to notice with newer heists is that the Contractors' involvement narration-wise, both Birth of Sky and Beneath the Mountain, as well as Aftershock, have Locke and Vlad constantly talking to the players, while Bane is occasionally telling you bits and pieces. Ever since Meltdown, we've had Vlad talking to us directly. I think Overkill understood that this is what players want. However, I don't think this is an actual conscious decision they made. With Simon leaving Overkill and becoming a freelancer, I'm sure it costs more money to hire him and to do many narrations for specific heists. While on that topic, I have noticed we are getting more contractors whilst not developing on previous ones. Specifically, the Butcher and the Elephant hasn't gotten anything in a while. I started to think that maybe it's because the voice actors for those contractors don't want to do any more work. And since Simon, the voice of Bane, is gone, Hector is dead, the dentist heists have all been completed, that really only leaves Vlad, the Elephant, and the Butcher, and that's most likely why we've gotten a lot of Vlad heists lately. However, that's just merely speculation, and I wish Overkill would tell us things like this directly. So, back to the heists themselves, another trend I've noticed is giving the players all the necessary equipment right off the bat. In Beneath the Mountain, you get the cutter and the keycard within 60 seconds, not even. In Birth of Sky, you get parachutes also within 60-ish seconds. I believe this trend started from around Alesso, where you spawn with the bolt cutter. In the same case with Aftershock, I believe this is a good trend, because we're a group of heisters who plan out how to execute a heist. Why do we need to find C4 in a carriage bomb forest? If we were a group of sociopaths who did things impulsively, I could understand having to find items like crowbars and whatnot. Finally, the last trend I've noticed is the escape. Beneath the Mountain's escape is in the same vein as Aftershock's escape. All the crew members have to be in the vehicle to escape, and I am not a fan of this, because more often than not, half the people will be in the escape waiting for the others, and they will get down, so then no one can escape because no one can be inspired from the vehicle. So hopefully we don't see any more of that, because it is really fucking annoying. This update came with 10 achievements. For Birth of Sky we had 5 achievements. The Sky is the Limit for Death Wish completion, Pinpoint Landing for parachuting into the diner through the roof, No Blood on the Carpet, take no team health damage before parachuting out of the plane on Overkill or above, 1, 2, 3 jump, whole team has to parachute out of the plane within a minute 23 seconds on Overkill or above, and Black Tie Event, complete the heist with only pistols and 2-piece suit on Overkill Plus. For Beneath the Mountain we have 4 achievements, Hall of the Mountain King for Death Wish completion, Clean House for all the loot secured, Commando Crew, open all 4 vaults with loot within 10 minutes on Overkill or above, and Juggernauts, complete with no team downs on Overkill or above, which is pretty much just like RBR but easy mode. Leading to the last achievement, No Scope. Using the Platypus 70 sniper, get 10 kills in a row with headshots whilst not aiming down the sights. Can be a bit tricky if you don't know what you're doing. This should be a good time to mention the weapon that is bundled with the heist, which is the Baby Deagle. It's a pistol, and currently most pistols are still OP. Now, I don't use pistols that much, but having a quick play with it, it seems like a fine weapon. It does around 154 damage, so it'll headshot all mooks on Death Wish. It's got decent ammo, and it's got a decent magazine. And of course we've got 4 masks along with this, as well as 4 patterns and materials. This cyan material is totally me, because I've been waiting for something like this, like, that's my color. Each heist got its own song. We have Drop Zone for Birth at Sky, and we have Lock and Load for Beneath the Mountain. They've been playing in the background of this video, and you can thank Simon for his awesome music. This video has been pretty long, so I'm going to talk about the Bodhi character pack and the Platypus Sniper and the Ex-President's Perk deck in a separate video. And yeah, the DLC is worth it in my own personal opinion, because it's actually quality content. So, okay, bye! Oh my god!